We are the Huge Movie Fanatics, and we are here to continue our Christmas action epics with, I guess epic is a loose term, but Invasion U.S.A., the Chuck Norris movie.
I tried to think of all. I'm sure there's a lot more
sure.
Christmas horror and Christmas action, but I tried to think of all of them that I've seen.
This one I saw on New Year's a couple of years back. I had a party and we were doing a countdown of the biggest body count movies, and this I think was the third one we ended up watching. Because the body count in it is something like 170 or 100 or 200 or something like that. It has a really high body count, like a shockingly high body count. So we watched it.
I love the
80s. It's very watchable. Chuck Norris, if nothing else, is very watchable because he's not a particularly gifted actor. He doesn't have a whole lot of on-screen charisma either. So I'm not really sure why he became as popular as he did, other than he can do a fight scene. He'd probably be better as a stuntman, but there's nobody who really kind of looks like him. I think it's his problem. The movie itself is like whatever, but the action is actually kind of entertaining. There's a lot of entertainment value to be had at the movie's expense. I'm gonna give it 2 stars on my side of things. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it this one, so I'm gonna pass it off to you.
All right, I didn't see Invasion USA until probably being like my mid-20s or something like that. It was another one of the closing video update VHS acquisitions, and I think you could get a bunch of tapes for $1 a piece or something like that, or 50 cents. It was great, and I remember, because this is the great heyday of the 80s. This was beautiful of Canon Films, and these guys, these 2 Arabs or whoever the hell they were, I can't remember their names, who were Canon Films, made so many, to my generation, so many iconic action movies like American Ninja, stuff like Revenge of the Ninja, more Chuck Norris movies than you can shake a stick at. You got Missing in Action, Invasion USA, and of course we're here to talk about Invasion USA. I dug it instantly. I mean, it was like they also did Delta Force. I dug Invasion USA instantly because, again, I'm a huge fan of movies that take place during Christmas, and all right, just a little technical difficulty.
Technical difficulty, I apologize.
That was agent.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm a huge fan of movies that take place during Christmas and have, like, I think there's a scene in the movie where they're like, I don't know if there's even Christmas music, where it's some town. Again, I think this is in Florida, or a lot of it takes place in Florida or something, so there's no snow, but there's like a Christmas tree in the yard. You got people, family, whatever like that, and then it's like, da-da-da-da-da, and then the bad guys come in and bazooka the house. It's just so awesome.
It is funny.
It is so awesome, and that's my epitome of a Christmas movie for me. And, I'm not as sick as you'd think, but it's just like, to me, it's just funny.
It's entertainment, yeah. It's funny.
It's ironic, and I love the irony of like. It's just to me, it's satisfying.
It's one of those like no brains action movie that you can just sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna just let loose for 90 minutes and just watch shit happen on screen, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it for a while, but I do remember that the end is involved some kind of military shooting bad guys in the city or something with tanks and stuff. But all I remember is I also loved I don't know who was the bad guy, but I know that one of the bad guys, I think he was the bad guy. I don't know if I can remember his name right now, but he was kind of a little more well known in the late 80s there, when he was in that movie called I don't remember what it was called, but it was something about sleep or something like that, where this guy's burnt. He's in Puppet Master 3 later on. He's got I love the guy as an actor. He's actually in Halloween the remake as the principal or something like that.
Oh, okay, that guy, yeah.
He was actually burnt in real life though, yeah. I think. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. We had this problem when we were reviewing that movie too.
What movie?
Halloween.
Oh,
I think you mentioned him, like, he's got a burnt face.
Freddy something. But yeah, I love that guy as an actor. I think he's a great bad guy, and he was a great bad guy in Invasion USA. And there's a great shot at the very end when he dies, where Chuck Norris comes up. He's got the bad guy's got the bazooka. He's got a machine gun. I think it's got a grenade launcher on him, something like that, or just a machine gun. And Chuck Norris comes up behind him and cocks his gun or something, and you see his face, the bad guy's face, like shit, you know. And he goes, and it's in slow mo. And he's like tries his hardest to turn around and shoot him. And maybe Chuck Norris is the one with the grenade launcher or bazooka. And he goes, and he just blows him right out the window. But I thought that what I'm trying to say is that guy, whoever, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but you're fantastic. I thought you're a great bad guy and really great bad guy in that movie. There's a really cool kind of Blues Brothers, I think, vehicle chase that happens in a mall, I think, too.
Yeah, and I actually like that scene.
Yeah, very good. I think the action, I don't know who directed this, but again, it's kind of like it's one of those canon movies, so I mean, whatever. But I think the action was very, very competent, and in a lot of ways holds up today in a lot of respects. I think there's a difference between 80s action. 80s action was really great in that it was all, you know, it was practical.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all practical. I mean, there was very little, if none, like blue screen frickin' action. Now where it's like all green screen, you know, or not all, I shouldn't say, but a lot of green screen action, unfortunately. And also one thing that I really, really don't like in movies now, which they get away, that they cheat. It's probably for safety, which is actually adding like muzzle flames digitally. Yeah. Nothing beats the actual like coming out.
I think it's all the whole like the crow thing where that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safety. I mean, safety is a
when actors get killed.
It's kind of
So I
right.
think that's probably what.
But I think what I'm saying is.
But I agree.
Compared to now, you might think that gosh, everything's technically better now. Well, you compare a shot, and I saw some of that in Captain America when they bust through the door and they come Bucky. I remember Bucky's was just like whatever, you know. And if you compare that to like Predator, where everyone's just like, and it's like.
I think it was on, I can't remember what DVD it's on. I think it's Planet Terror, where they have a whole special where Robert Rodriguez just watched a bunch of different guns firing to get the perfect star splatter when the gun is firing, and he's like, it needs to be perfect.
Not to recreate, but to do it for real.
Yeah. So he watched a bunch of different shots of bullets firing and tested it on the camera, and he's like, all right, that's the one that's for the character.
Yeah, back in the 80s, I mean, the darn muzzle flame was a character. I mean, look at RoboCop. I mean, they drilled out, freaking holes on the side of each side of the gun or whatever, so that the flame would come out. It was a part of the weapon, So I don't think they know that it matters to fans. But back in the 80s, man, especially the Cannon movies, when it was all real. I mean, real blanks or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, and I just ate that stuff up as a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 3 stars on Beijing USA just for its goofy ass. I think it's got strong set pieces. Chuck Norris is serviceable in the movie, and I just think it's an all-around great canon action movies from the 80s. A great Christmas action movie. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Invasion USA. I think that title's great too.
Yeah.
Invasion USA.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Can I put the star up this year?
Time for dinner.
No one thought it could ever happen here. They are an army of international terrorists.
America has not been invaded by a foreign enemy in nearly 200 years.
Their target, America. Their objective, control.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Now, only one thing stands in their way.
It's time to die. Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
They wanted a war.
See you in hell.
He gave them one.
Send me a postcard.
Chuck Norris. Invasion USA.